Hey guys, my name's Savannah and welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you're a subscriber. Today is my first Bookmas video and I'm super excited to get into it. Alright guys, so that's my intro. My husband Eric actually produced and composed the music for that little intro. And I'm super proud of him. It sounds awesome and he is so talented. So today I'm going to be sharing my reading plans for this month. I have a very ambitious TBR. I hope that I can get to everything. And I have quite a few buddy reads. So let's just get into the video. I actually also, before we get into it, have a secret TBR that I can't tell you what's on there, but that will be coming out 2 days before Christmas on that Wednesday. And I chose a booktuber who I'm going to read some of her recommendations and I'm going to do a vlog for it. So stay tuned for that. This is really good. Cabernet Sauvignon. Anyway. All right, so the first book is Mexican Gothic, and I talked about this actually in last month's TBR, and I really wanted to get to it. It looked like such a good November read, but I actually did not get to it. I had a huge paper and I fell really behind in my reading plans. So I am going to buddy read this month with Erin. I'll link her channel below in the description box. But both of us haven't read it and we feel super behind because everybody, it seems, has read this book. But I am so excited to read this along with her. If you don't know what this is about, I'm going to read the little blurb inside because I think it's very mysterious and intriguing. From the author of Gods of Jade and Shadow comes this reimagining of the classic Gothic suspense novel, a story about an isolated mansion in 1950s Mexico and the brave socialite drawn to its treacherous secrets. So basically she gets a letter from her cousin saying her new husband is trying to poison her. The main character in this goes to live at their house and it's this beautiful mansion and things are just off. So I cannot wait to read this. I've heard it's quite a slow burn, but that it's worth it. And the whole Gothic atmosphere of this is really drawing me in and I cannot wait to read it. The next book I want to talk about is actually Night Shift, and this is a collection of short stories by Stephen King, and I chose to read this with Read by Beth here on YouTube. She is the queen of Stephen King. She has a collection of his works. She's read so many, is so knowledgeable on him as an author, and I'm so excited to buddy read this with her. We're for sure going to read at least one story in here, possibly all three, but I am so excited, and I cannot wait to read some spooky stuff. All right, I have another Stephen King. So Pet Sematary is the next book I'm going to read, and I'm going to read this with Alicia, and I will link her information down below. But she actually tried to read this earlier on in the year, and she said she didn't finish it, but she wants to give it a try because both of us really love The Shining. And I am so excited to read this. Actually, my husband told me he read it in middle school and that he actually really loved it. So I know that was a very long time ago, but I'm excited to give this a try. This book is about a family who've moved to a rural house in Maine, and everything seems to be going well for them, except they live by a woods, and in that woods something sinister is there. That's all I really know about it. I know it deals with death and grief, which are pretty heavy subject matter, but I think this is going to be a really good book, and I'm very excited to read it. The next book I'm going to read is Anxious People. I am so excited to read this. I've heard some amazing reviews about this, just saying that this novel made them feel all of the feels, and this is going to be a buddy read with Andy here on YouTube, and she's actually going to host a live talking about this novel, and I'm so excited to be a part of that. But anyway, she set up a Discord, and a lot of us are about to read this book or already have and are discussing it there, so I can't wait to get to it. I'm going to read what it says inside the cover. A poignant, charming novel about a crime that never took place, a would-be bank robber who disappears into thin air, and 8 extremely anxious strangers who find they have more in common than they ever imagined. This seems like a really character-driven book, and I'm usually not one to pick up books like that, but I am willing to dip my toes in this and see what I think, and I have a feeling I'm going to really like this. I'm very excited to read it. I really don't know any more than that. And I kind of want to go in a little bit blind and just be there for the whole ride and experience. All right, this month is pretty much all buddy reads, and I am here for it. So, Kill Creek is the next novel I will be reading, and I will be participating in a live show with Deja, Rain, and McKay, and I'm so excited to talk about this book with them. This book has been very hyped, and I'm very excited. It's kind of like a haunted house story, and the premise is 3 authors are invited to spend Halloween night in this haunted house. And it kind of starts as like a publicity stunt, but then some sinister things start happening, and that's really all I know about this. So I cannot wait. I've heard so many people talk about how much they loved it. I've heard it's a little bit of a slow burn, but I'm okay with that. I like kind of an atmospheric build for books like this, so I'm so excited to start reading it. All of the information for all of the live shows I'm talking about will be down in the description below. I am doing a whole vlog dedicated to this, but I'm going to read No Exit, and I think this may be the book I'm looking forward to the most this month. I have heard multiple people say it's either one of their favorite books or just such a crazy ride, and I'm so excited. So the premise of this is there is a woman, and she's trying to get home to her mother who is ill, and she kind of is rushing along, but then a blizzard hits and she's unable to continue. So she pulls over at a rest stop, and there's a group of people there stranded, and she happens to look in somebody's van and sees a child in a cage, and she realizes one of the people I'm stuck here with is a killer. So it's kind of like a whodunit situation in an isolated place, and I really want to read more books like this, and I cannot wait to read this. So I'm going to vlog my experience and make sure to let you guys know the parts where there won't be spoilers, and also the spoiler section. So I cannot wait to read this. Even though I don't live in an area with snow, I want to feel like I live in an area with snow, so I think this book will be great to read in December. All right, like I said, I'm a little bit more of a mood reader and didn't fully follow my TBR for this past month. So I'm going to try my hardest to get to Nosferatu, which was something that was on my TBR. This is by Joe Hill, and he's actually Stephen King's son. So I'll be really interested to see how his writing style compares to his father. I've heard really great things about this. This is basically about a child abductor, and he takes these kids to a place called Christmas Land, and it sounds really creepy. It's kind of a thick book, so I hope I'm able to get to it because, as I mentioned earlier, I have some other books that I'm going to read for a secret TBR, at least 2 or 3 for that. So I will be so busy reading this month, but I'm very excited. Thank you so much for watching my first video in Bookmas, and I cannot wait to see you all on Friday with that Misery review. Bye.